and they're mass producing histones by the carloads. But further, if I break the bridge between the central tubule and the outer tubule in the tail of the spermatozoa and maintain it broken by ATP, they begin to bend. And they bend into circles. And from these circles, because the presence of the ancient cytoplasm, and that's where our immune cells originated from, that's where from the Chondriana is originated from the ancient cytoplasm, where you only have vacuoles and mitochondria and the ancient cytoplasm. I too can develop not only the Chondriana, but giant lymphocytes. So every tail of the spermatozoa can reproduce your lymphocytes. Now, because the whole history is located in the tail, depending on which section the tail is going to loop, of what type of life form you evolve, and how far back you go in time. And this is the information which basically described in the new book, which called The Might of the Life Crystal. It really shows you how far a life crystal can go and will go. Of course, a lot more work is ahead of us, because I only formed the beachhead, but I haven't explored the land yet. There's a lot more to do. There's a long way to go. I hope I was able to convey to you that our immune system, together with our life, came from way back 3.5 billion years ago, the age of cyanobacteria, or the Chondriana. And the Chondriana was trained on the battlefield. That's where they learned how to fight against viruses. But someone made sure that they were preserved, because one day we will need them again. Our whole immune system is evolved from the degenerated Chondrianas. And the different type of immune system, same as the different type of Chondrianas, because we can reproduce all the different type of Chondrianas like the different type of immune cell. I have Chondrianas which is equivalent to the macrophage, but much bigger than our present one. The killer cells, giant, much bigger than our present ones. The dendritic cell, which is also plays a major function of activating our T cells, also from the Chondriana. Chondrianas can lay down vacuoles, which grow into giant macrophages. They reproduce all our ancient immune system, what we have. And yet, they can reproduce all our current one and make them strong. The Chondriana can reproduce any protein to dissolve the coating of Staphylococcus, for example, or attack and destroy viruses and bacteria. So it does a lot more than just directly attacking, because it's part of us. And it's natural. It's the same thing like if I give blood to somebody, because my blood contains my immune cells. And my immune cells are really Chondrianas, providing you increase the energy level on them. Now, I have no evidence that just drinking the drink will evolve the Chondriana. But drinking the drink, you will have big defense cells. And it will defend you against even common cold. And if you get a common cold, you will go over it much faster because your immune system is stronger. But basically, the Chondrianas and our immune cells are tied together, because this is another way I can make Chondriana. I can take a lymphocyte, put them into life crystal and increase the energy level. They turn into a Chondriana. I decrease the energy level by diluting it with distilled water. They go back to become lymphocytes. So there's the absolute proof that they are part of us. And as part of our system, we used to have a much stronger defense system or immune system, but because the energy dropped, our cells becoming purer and purer. Now, I'd like to elaborate a little bit more on basically what's happening in our body and what's the function of the ATP and GTP, adenosine, guanosine phosphates. As time goes on, we are living in a polluted world. We're drinking poison water, poison air, and poison food. And that actually brings on aging too, but now we're hastening everything. So all our delicate factories are plugged up. We're receiving less and less energy. All the fine septums are halfway plugged. As we're receiving less and less energy, our cells become purer and purer. Our defense cells become purer, so we cannot defend ourselves. So we are living at a time that we are the filter in our environment, because everything we're taking in, we're filtering out. And therefore, in this kind of age, it's very important that everyone backwash his system, just like backwashing a swimming pool filter, to take all the garbage out and clean out your system and return the energy to our cell, what we are needing. And you certainly will not get that from a hot dog or a hamburger. So by restoring our system, cleaning out and backwashing our system, chelating, cleaning out our blood vessels, not only from cholesterol deposits, but also sugar deposits. We have clinical data with people with diabetes mellitus, diabetes mellitus, which is the adult onset of diabetes. They still have some beta cells. And these clinics are doing terrific work, most of them located in Mexico, some of them in Europe. And by just giving live crystal injection alone, if somebody is scheduled for a leg amputation, they don't have to go through with it. The sugar can be removed, sugar deposit can be removed, circulation restored, the claudication goes away, and everything becomes normal after about 10 injections. Now we have a number of cases, well-documented clinical data to prove it. Of course, that we have ongoing clinical data and studies going on in this respect. We have patients who are scheduled for kidney transplant. They didn't have to go through with it because the kidney become normal after removing the sugar deposits. Now these are kidney failure because of the sugar deposits, and you cut off circulation, respiration, nutrient flow. As a result, everything degenerates. And most of the time, 80% of the diseases today is directly related to the failure of circulatory problem. Because once you cut off respiration and the nutrient flow, the cell will degenerate and die, or become weak and puny, and the disease come in and attack. Okay? Like the wolf attacks the weak. And this can be all reversed just by cleaning out, restoring the circulatory system. And I can say this because a lot of clinics have done work and proved it black and white that adenosine and guanosine, which are basic component of live crystal, will clean out the blood vessels, even in the case somebody's 96 or 98% blood. If they stay on rigorously, and as the clinical data shows, they go in and initiate it with intravenous injection to speed it up a little bit, and then they just fall back on the drink for maintenance, and it's an ongoing, steady cleanup job. Not only that, but if anyone, speaking from my experience, for example, taking in a lot of fat, because now I can eat pizza. And the next day, urinating it out. It dissolves it, and you pass it out. Sometimes if you take in too much cholesterol, too much fat, you're coughing it up the next day.